What's up everyone, welcome back to more Reddit stories about entitled people, crazy people, and everything in between. Hope you're all doing awesome, and as usual, we'll be checking out some more Reddit posts today. So be sure to share your thoughts about today's stories down in the comments, and let's get into it. Want me to clean up users on the portal? Done, you're deleted. I work in IT for a big company and manage a portal that a small group of people use daily. My manager wanted me to go through the list of users and remove anyone who didn't need access. Simple request. I reduced the list from 100 to 30 people. Everyone's happy. Couple weeks later, manager is complaining that 30 users is too much and wanted me to create a list of all their names, what team they are a part of, who they report to, and how often they need access to this portal. Annoying request, but sure, I got it done. He goes through the list and gets mad when he sees names he doesn't recognize, even though our company has a couple thousand employees. So he tells me to delete all users whose name he doesn't recognize. Stupid request, but okay, done. We are a global company, so immediately overnight I'm getting bombarded with emails that systems are down, and no one has access to log into the system and fix it. My phone's going off, but screw it. I don't get paid to work at 3 a.m. Next morning, my manager somehow gets mad at me for deleting the users he told me to delete, and tells me to add them back. No Sherlock. Couple weeks later, he again brings up that he's not happy, and the system is not secure. Too many users have access, blah blah blah. Like bro, how bored are you? He wanted me to review the list of users with him again. 27 of the users use the system daily. There are only 3 users, himself and 2 other people that are high up management that don't use the system at all, but are there for political reasons. He starts yelling at me, telling me to delete anyone who doesn't use the portal daily as part of their core job, and anyone who wants access must fill out a form and explain why they need it. Okay, fine. Screw it. Done. Couple weeks pass by and he goes, "Hey, I think something's wrong with the system. I can't log in anymore." Nope, it's working just fine. Then why can't I log in? I removed all users who don't use it daily as part of their core job. Quoted my manager from weeks ago word for word. Add me back. Slides him the form he created. Angry face from manager, smiley face from me. It's been weeks and he still hasn't filled out the form, and I still haven't added him back. We are somehow on good terms now. My boyfriend announced my medical condition to a party full of people against my will. I have a well-controlled mental condition that I am very private about. I take 2 separate medications twice a day, every 12 hours, and for the most part it does not affect my daily life. Luckily, I have a fantastic doctor who worked with me to experiment with medications, until I found a combination that worked for me with minimal side effects. I'm just saying this to demonstrate that this is not a significant issue in my life anymore, and it is not necessary for many people to know. I started dating my boyfriend almost a year ago, and he has been great, just a little dopey. He is not a subtle person and can't keep a secret to save his life. So even though I told him before we started dating that I have this condition that is well controlled and I don't really like people to know about it, he went ahead and told his parents. I was pissed, but told him not to tell anyone else, and we got through it. Well, last weekend we went to a friend of his party, and while they all got drunk, I sipped on a soda. Many of his friends were concerned that I wasn't drinking and kept saying stuff like, "It's okay that you're underage, you can still have a beer. Want me to make you a cocktail?" I was starting to become uncomfortable with the comments when my boyfriend, in his infinite wisdom, decides to announce, "Oh, she's not drinking because it affects her medication." Okay, well now I'm pretty pissed, but whatever, no one really mentioned it further. Well then, a little while later, my alarm goes off and my boyfriend, who is drunk by now, literally yells to me, "Hey babe, it's time to take your crazy pills." He turns to the other people and goes, "Yeah, she has condition and has to take pills for it." I just stared at him. I could not believe that he would do this to me. I just met some of these people and now they all know something incredibly personal about me that is nobody's damn business. I hate the way people treat me after they find out, like I'm unhinged or damaged or something. I don't want anybody's pity. It's effing well controlled for Christ's sake. I grabbed his keys and went to the car and he followed me, asking what was wrong. I didn't say anything, just drove us home, and I haven't really talked to him since, even though he's been apologizing profusely. Is this something I can even forgive him for? Should I? What should I do here? Seriously, I'm so upset and angry. He had no right. Update. So I wasn't going to post an update, but a couple people asked me to, so I decided I would. Before I went back on Saturday to get my stuff, I texted my ex to let him know, and said if he wanted to talk, that would be the time to do it. He said okay, but when we got there, he wasn't there. So we packed everything up and I officially moved back home. He tried reaching out to me via text a couple times, but I told him I was really hurt he decided not to be there. I guess I still kind of wanted to salvage things, and that I had nothing more to say to him. I blocked him to resist temptation. Now the exciting part of the update. I had gotten a Facebook request from one of our mutual friends who was also at the party. She told me that she thought my ex was an ass for what he did, and told me that she had GAD and would kill her boyfriend who was also there if he ever pulled something like that. We had a long and nice conversation and she invited me out to the movies with her boyfriend and his brother. I went and guess what? His brother and I totally hit it off. He's pretty shy and I didn't realize it then, but I guess they were trying to hook us up. Anyway, I'm not sure how I feel about dating a guy younger than me. He's 19 and turns 20 in December. But who knows? Am I the asshole for parking in my driveway, blocking in a stranger who parked in it? For days, because my car wouldn't start. I live near a music and events venue, and at some events, people will park in my driveway. It's kind of annoying having to park further away and walk. I drive a total beater of a car. It's a 97 Camry. I got home on January 2nd after Christmas, and I was exhausted after driving 7 hours, and someone had their car in my driveway. I drove up and down the block, and there was no parallel parking at all. I decided, screw it, and parked in my own driveway. The next morning, I hadn't heard a thing from the car owners, and I took my bike to work because I'm trying to save gas money and lose weight. Then I went home and there were a couple of notes, one on my car and one on my door, all asking me to move my car, giving contact info. I called them and said, sorry, haven't been home, come by and I'll pull my car out. A guy came by and I went to move my car, and it wouldn't start. I said I thought it might be the battery. Could I get a jump start from him and see if that works? He said no, because he was afraid I would damage his car. It was a brand new Lexus. I said I'd call my boyfriend and see what he could do. I did, and he wasn't able to come by until the next day. The guy was mad and wanted my car towed, and I said I don't have the money. So the next day my boyfriend comes by, and the guy with the Lexus does too, because he's real mad and impatient. My boyfriend tried to jump my car with his, tested the starter, tested the ignition to see if it was okay, and couldn't figure out the problem. He looked at a bunch of other stuff and he just can't figure it out. The guy is getting real mad, and I say I'll call my dad who knows a lot about cars. He's cussing at me and saying he just wants my POS towed, and that there will be legal action, etc. I said just wait for my dad. My dad comes by in his truck and he brings tow straps and tows the car into the street, and it's all done with. But the guy is pissed that's not what we started with, that he had no car for days and then he spent all evening waiting for us to get it moved. My dad tells him to get off my property and don't come back. Am I the asshole for this whole mess? I honestly don't understand at all how OP can even wonder if they're in the wrong here. Obviously not. OP definitely gave the guy way more courtesy than he deserved. He really should have been towed the night he decided to park there. No more drugs in the workplace? Okay. My pet peeve is poorly written policy. If you were going to go through the effort of writing the rules, you may as well do it properly and not get the intern to do it. My wife came home one day and showed a printout of her company's new workplace fitness for work policy that had been sent to all employees to sign and return. My wife, being my wife, decided to run it past me before she signed, because I am, well, me. It was mostly an amateurish document that was ultimately a waste of ink and trees, but did have a little bit to say about drugs in the workplace, which was essentially, do not come to work under the influence of drugs or alcohol, and do not bring drugs or alcohol to work. I told her not to sign until they, at the very least, define what drugs were. Were they including Tylenol, antibiotics, Ritalin, or just the illegal ones and recreational pharmaceuticals? Fast forward a couple of days. V2.0 of the document is presented. They fleshed out the drugs policy a little, basically using the dictionary definition, something along the lines of, a prescription substance which has a physiological or mood-altering effect when ingested or otherwise introduced into the body. Okay, time for malicious compliance. She signed and presented it to HR the next day and went about her work. During the morning, there were increasing amounts of confusion and frustrated loud voices in the office. Apparently, it only took an hour before zero work was being done and there was a crowd of workers around in the break room. The manager eventually zeroed in on my wife, apparently the only one who wasn't looking confused, and asked if she had anything to do with stealing all the coffee in the break room. She admitted it was her, and pointed out the new fitness for work policy which prohibited the consumption of, quote, mood-altering substances in the workplace. He tried to argue that it was just coffee, but she pointed out that it was definitely mood-altering substance, as per company policy, and as such was not allowed to be on the premises without a prescription. She'd made her point. She retrieved the coffee she'd stashed in the storeroom. The office mood was altered, and the company actually commissioned a functional fitness for work policy based on the published government guidelines. Spotify support told me to read their refund policy, so I did, and forced them to give me a refund. So my Spotify Premium renewed today because I forgot to cancel. I immediately checked the refund policy online and confirmed I was eligible, so I canceled the plan, literally within minutes, and hopped on support chat to ask for the refund. Seems simple, right? Wrong. The agent, Christina, gave me the classic runaround. She said the 14-day refund period only applies to your initial sign-up, and since I'd been a member for months, I was out of luck. She even sent me a link to the policy to prove her point, telling me to read it. This is where the malicious compliance comes in. I did exactly what she said. I read the policy and then I went deeper and found their full legally binding terms of use. And what did I find? In Section 3, under withdrawal right, it clearly states you have, quote, 14 days after purchase to withdraw for any reason. A monthly renewal is a new purchase. My own research before the chat was correct. I went back to Christina and quoted the terms of use directly. She put me on hold to, quote, check backstage, then came back with the same denial. Her team was doubling down on the incorrect script. So I played my final card. I sent this message. Since this dispute is specifically about the legal interpretation of the withdrawal right in your terms of use, could you please provide the contact information for Spotify's legal department or the appropriate office for handling formal contractual disputes? The change was instant. Suddenly, she had to see what she could do. 5 minutes later, I've managed to ask some support with our backstage team, and we can go ahead and process a refund for you. They folded like a cheap suit. Their business model counts on you giving up. You are entitled to your money back. Anyway, that's going to be it for today, guys. Thank you for watching. I appreciate it. Be sure to drop a like if you enjoyed and subscribe as well if you want to see more Reddit content like this. So I'm out of here. Take care, friends, and I'll see you next time.